arithmetic operations of the C programming. The complete architecture of C programming is shown over here. So here we have declared the integer variable. So the first integer variable is a is equal to 12, then a is equal to 15. A very simple command has been used over here of a plus b, a minus b, and a into b. So if I read the first command, if we enter the main, if we go in downward direction, then the first command for print f function is sum of the number is percent d. This percent d is nothing but a plus b. So the answer that you are going to get over here is 12 plus 5, which is nothing but 17. Similarly, for subtraction operation, we are having the second line. Multiplication, we are having the third line over here. The most important function that you see over here is for division. So in this case, you can see a is an integer, so it is 12 divided by 5. So 12 divided by 5, we get around 2.4. But here we have written percent d, which is an integer. So when you write an integer type and the division of the same is coming as 2.4, what C programming language will do is it will just neglect this 0.4 part, and the output that you will get is only 2, because you have declared integer type, which is percent d. Okay. Similarly, the next part is remainder. Remainder is percent d. What is remainder? Remainder is nothing but what you can do is here 5 divided by 12. So it is 5 ones are 5, 5 2s are 10. The remainder that you are getting over here is 2. Okay. So the meaning of this percentage is nothing but remainder. A percent B means B divided by A, and the remainder is 2. So the answer that you are going to get over here is nothing but only 2. Okay. So this is the basic general arithmetic operations in C language. So let me start with the arithmetic operation on float values. For that, what I have done is I have taken two float values, which is a is equal to 5.2 and b is equal to 2.1, and two integer values, which is c is equal to 2 and d is equal to 8, and I have written some print statements over here. So the first few statements are very easy, which is a plus b, a minus b, and a into b. Okay. So let me just compile the program and run it so that we can compare it side by side, and it will become very easy for explanation. So you see the first part, printing an statement for a plus b. So 5.2 plus 2.1, I am writing over here 5.2 plus 2.1. The answer is 7.3 over here. So this is your first thing. Adding float plus float, subtracting float plus float gives you again 3.1 over here. So I will not just subtract it. Then multiplication, which is 5.2 into 2.1, again it is giving me 10.91 over here. Okay, so the main explanation will start from the fourth statement, which is division of two float values. Division of two float values. So let me write over here. Whenever you divide two float values, if you write float by float, float by float, in numerator you are having float, denominator you are having float. If in numerator if you are having integer, in denominator if you are having float, or in numerator you are having float and in denominator you are having integer. In all the three cases you are supposed to write %f, where here you are supposed to write %f for float values. Then and only then the answer that you are going to get will be in float. So let me just see over here. Dividing here, third statement, division of two float values. I have written %f a by b. So here it is 5.2 divided by 2.1. So answer that I am getting is 2.47, something. It is a big number. You see over here, division, the output of fourth statement, division of two float number is 2.4761. Okay. So it was float by float. Okay. Next thing is division of this one, division of an integer and float value. Division of an integer by float value. So c by a, c is your 2 and a is 5.2. So it is following which trend? It is following integer by float. This value it is following. Okay. So the answer that you are getting over here is 0.3846, 0.3846, because we have written %f over here. See the next statement, division of two integer d by c. Division of two integer d by c. What is your d? D is your 8. Your c is 2. Okay, the answer that you are supposed to be getting is 4. But what we have done is we have divided two integer by integer, and we have used percent %f. In such situation, if you are dividing two integer value and if you are using percent %f, the C language will not process it. It will not process it and it will throw a garbage value. You see what has happened over here? Division of two integer is 0.000. It has not processed it. So in C language, integer by integer, if operation is there, you are supposed to write what? Percent %d. If you write percent %f, C will not process it. But in Java and other thing, the processing will be done. C language will not process it. Again, the last statement, if you see, printf division of an integer by float. Integer by float. So it is d by a, d is 8 and a is 5.2. Okay, again we should be getting some answer, but the problem is we have used percent %d over here. What I had told in beginning, float by float, integer by float, float by integer, you are supposed to write percent %f. What if we write percent %d? If we write percent %d, again it will throw a garbage value over here. See, minus 3, 5, 3, 6, 8, 7 something. So what is the moral of the story? Moral of the story is, if you are having any three format like this, float by float, integer by float, float by integer, use percent %f. If you are having any format like this, integer by integer, you have to use percent %d. That's it. Okay.